You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene on Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. Your hosts are Ray, myself, Wole, and Mo. Mo's a little late, but Mo will be on the show. Joining us as a guest on the show is my man, Manny. Manny is also from Niger. Manny also has a Washington football team podcast. Manny, what's good? And welcome to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene.
Hey, what's up, brother, man? Hey, I'm so happy to be on the show, man. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Hey, Manny, before we get started, talk about some Washington football jazz, tell our listeners about your pod.
All right, man, I have a Washington football pod. It's still under the old name. It's the Back Row WFT show. Okay. I just didn't feel like changing my name just yet. It's been tough to kind of get some guests because of the name, but it's all good.
Are you serious?
The name. Yeah, they look at the name. They look at the name and say, "Oh, Redskins, I don't want to. I don't want to get in trouble." If there's some guys that I've contacted, I don't want to mention any names. They say they're coming on, and then they see the name of the show, and then they back out. But this is all good. This is all good. Man, doing well with the podcast. It's time to pick up some steam.
Definitely.
So yeah, man, I started about last year, and it's been fun. It's been fun, man. So once they change the name, I'm gonna change my name. But it's the Back Row WFT show.
Manny, Ray could tell you had that same kind of issue. We didn't know where we wanted to go with our name.
Man.
Manny, I was still attached to our old name. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still not used to All Burgundy and Gold at this point. But hey, Manny, real quick, I want to ask you, man, are you a Man U fan as well?
I'm not, man. I'm just.
Oh, good. Okay, great. All right,
I don't
so we can
really
rock then.
Soccer. Yeah.
I don't that's what's up.
The soccer, but hey.
Oh man, y'all really turning. Y'all watching American football only at this point.
Man.
I know that's right.
No more football. This is
no more football.
This is the real football.
You know what? Hey man, you know what? That's the opposite though, right? They don't say it like they be like. When you talk about soccer, they be like, "No, that's real football.
That's real football. It's not soccer.
It's not soccer. It's not soccer."
That was perfect, man.
Oh man, he was like, "That's handball. You don't know foot. You don't use your foot. It's handball." Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Search All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene. Also, tweet us at Urban Sports Scene and hit us up on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. It is time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll talk about the Washington football team signing cornerback William Jackson III and wide receiver Curtis Samuels. All right, first, let's get right to it. The Washington football team signed wide receiver Curtis Samuel to a 3-year, $34.5 million deal. Manny, was this the right signing for this organization?
It was the right signing. You know why? You get the value. You get a Curtis Samuel for $11.5 million a year, 3-year deal. He is younger than Terry McLaurin. So guess what? They've been together since freshman year at the Ohio. So they get to play together, right? Grow together. And then you see Kenny Golladay goes out there and gets $19 million a year with incentives, okay? And he got a bad hip. You know what I'm saying? So this was a perfect signing. You're getting a guy who can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He can play some special teams if you need him to. So, he does it all, man. And he knows the system. Then I don't want to jump the gun, but now you have the quarterback to get these guys the ball. So I'm excited about Curtis Samuel. He's going to tear it up. Everybody says, oh, he's just a slot wide receiver. This is the year that we are going to see who Curtis Samuel is. He's going to be moved all around the field. Sometimes you're going to see him in the backfield, and you're going to see guys like Gibson in the slot. So you don't know what's going to happen with this offense. I'm excited. I'm jacked up. I am hyped. This was the perfect move, and I think it's going to be a perfect fit for the squad.
Love the energy. I love the energy. So I want to ask you a question, brother. It's a follow-up question. Do you think that this Washington football team needs to sign another receiver, Jalen Waddle, possibly to go on the outside, or do you think they need to just stick with what they have in the building right now, build on what they've already started?
Oh, we need more receivers. You must have been on my Twitter. You must have been on my Twitter this morning because I was saying, matter of fact, if Jalen Waddle falls to 19, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna do a revival. I'm gonna do a night vigil like we do back home. It's gonna be a good time in my house because we need more weapons. I don't care who we've signed. Yes, we have Terry. Yes, we have Curtis. But we definitely need more weapons. I was saying that if we can get a guy like Jalen Waddle or Smith to fall at 19, which they probably won't, right? There's a guy by the name of Rondell Moore. Rondell Moore, he had his pro day today. He ran a sub 4.29. Okay, this guy right here, if you think of Steve Smith, senior, that's who you have in Rondell Moore. So you definitely need another weapon. There's no other receiver out there that can come in right now and help this team. So I'm saying, look, I'll take Rashad Bateman in 19 if he's there. That's just me. But I love Rondell Moore. We need somebody. At pick 19, if you trade back, you can still get a receiver, acquire more picks. We're not even going to talk about the draft right now, but we definitely need more weapons. We definitely need more wide receivers.
Man, like I'm really loving you. I'm loving your energy, bro. I'm loving it. So let's get to you got the receiver in speed. May need an outside. You're saying they need an outside weapon, but let's go to who's going to be coaching this up. I mean, this offensive coordinator named Scott Turner. You're acting like you're the offensive coordinator. I'm seeing you talk about moving Gibson to the slot, have my man in the backfield. You trying to coach this team. Do you trust Scott Turner to do that? Do you trust him to do what you're envisioning?
Okay. Well, I was just on somebody else's show and I ripped Scott Turner, and I'm going to rip him again. Scott Turner, you got to show me, man. You got to make me believe. I said this on the Andy Burrows podcast yesterday or 2 days ago. You got to make me believe, because when you have Antonio Gibson, you told the coach, I wanted Antonio Gibson. So we go ahead and Christian McCaffrey type player, right? So what happens? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Manny. We can hear you now.
All right. I was saying that they wanted Antonio Gibson. He's a Christian McCaffrey type player, right? And if he's a Christian McCaffrey type player, you need targets. So get him involved. That's my only thing. If you say you want a bell cow, do it all, back, get him involved. You know what I'm saying? You preach versatility and you want all these weapons. I'm ready to coach this team. I'm ready to be the offensive coordinator. Look, if you're telling us that you're going to move people around, I just want to see it. I just want to see you preach what you say. The problem has been,
I want to ask you a question. I don't mean to cut you off, brother. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this, because again, your energy is great. I feel like you represent the majority of fans right now that believe that this Washington football train is heading in the right direction.
Here you go.
But if I would have asked you a year and a half or 2 years ago, that your quarterbacks would be Taylor Heineke, you probably would be like, who? Kyle Allen and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Would you have been confident at the time? But now you are confident because of the coaching staff, because of what you're talking about now, the receivers, maybe the front office moves. What's helping you be so confident when the most important position on the team right now, I don't know if it's the strongest position on your team right now, being real, even though I like the fact that Fitz takes chances.
Yes. Now, do you know why I'm so excited? Because we don't have an Alex Smith. We don't have an Alex Smith coming out here checking down. He checks down to me, you, everybody that's watching. He checks down to all of us. Okay? So you need a quarterback that can pass the ball. That's all I've ever prayed for. It's a quarterback that gives me a chance. When we're down 10, 15, 20 points, you need a quarterback that's going to take chances. That's what Fitzmagic is. Now, there's the good and there's the bad and there's the ugly with Fitzmagic. But guess what? He gives you a chance to win, right? They want to open up the playbook, right? And what better way than to have a veteran that has played with some of the best wide receivers in the world? He continues to get praises. He's a guy that's a leader. We understand that, he has his own deficiencies, but who doesn't? I'm excited about the Fitzpatrick signing, and I think that Terry McLaurin has his best season as a pro.
Yeah. So to the mentioning Scott Turner, we tweeted a question about Scott Turner. Do you have faith? I want to know people have faith in Scott Turner. Some Washington fans have faith in Scott Turner. My man Serge said absolutely no explanations needed. All right. All right, Serge. I think that you should have some questions. All right. CEO tweeted, and that's at Trey Millie 15. I think he can do it, but I hope we don't feel like just because we paid him good money that he needs to play outside. Keep him in the slot. Oh, he's talking about Curtis Samuels. Needs to play Curtis Samuels in the slot. They gave him good money. He liked the signing of Curtis Samuels. He hopes that they don't force him outside. He looks at him as more of a slot wide receiver.
Terry can play slot too. Just FYI.
Terry can play everything. Like he can play everything. So I'm going to answer that question though. I'm going to talk about that in terms of Curtis Samuels. I know we're jumping all over the place, but Curtis can play. Curtis to me is a slot receiver. That's what he is to me. He's more of a slot receiver. Obviously playing with Moore in Carolina opened up a lot for him because Moore was always highly touted coming out of Maryland, and he finally, showed what he was all about. So playing with Moore opened things up. Terry will open things up for him as well. But when you play outside, you think of dudes who can run the route tree a certain way. And Samuels isn't the guy that runs the route tree a certain way, but he is explosive, right? He's an explosive dude, and speed scares everything. I don't want people to think like he's like because everybody will comp speed guys like a Deshaun Jackson, Tyreek Hill. Those are different types of dudes. That's different types of dudes, man. Like Tyreek Hill is elite speed. That's on a whole different level. Deshaun Jackson is a mixture of speed and quickness, which a lot of people don't have. So that's a whole different type of speed. But he's a guy I feel like, if you like to Manny's point, Sam is a dude in the slot where you can get him in on mismatches where playing against a lower tier corner or getting him matched up against a linebacker or getting him an opportunity to get isolated on the safety. He can flourish in that situation. That's why, to everybody's point, just because he got the money, to my man's point, I do hope they don't try to force him outside because he's getting the bag. Like, nah, get a guy outside to make it all work. Because your slot receiver can just still be as beneficial or even put up numbers like your outside receiver. For instance, I believe my man for the Rams, Cooper Kupp, for a while was just the primary slot, but he's putting up better numbers than the two dudes. So you could still be that kind of guy in the slot. So I hope they're not forced to play him in the slot, play him outside because he got the bag.
I agree. I mean, like you hear people, when people hear slot, they think of a slot receiver as a number 3 receiver. You have your number 1.
You Manny, you there? Did we lose Manny? Did we lose Manny or you lost me?
Nah, I'm here. So
okay, so I think we lost Manny. Maybe we lost him. But yeah, I think back to
receiver outside.
So man, you back. We lost you for a little bit, Manny. Man, we lost you for you back.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was saying that when people look at the receiver position, you got your outside receivers, your number 1, your number 2, and your slot. They normally think a slot receiver is a number 3 receiver. It's not true. Sometimes, like you said, sometimes the slot receiver is the number 1 receiver on the team in terms of production. So there's like differences between number 1, number 2, number 3 receiver when it comes to production. You can still produce out of the slot. But what makes me so excited about Curtis Samuel is, even though he's in the slot, just imagine him he can run a go.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's say he's in the slot and he's matched up versus a linebacker for some odd reason. He can take off. Yeah. Because you have a Logan Thomas and Terry and all these different guys that can, take attention away from him. He might run a go. And it's like, wow. Because, I mean, the speed is there. So there's going to be so many exotic plays and routes that Scott Turner is going to be able to use this guy in. Because if you guys remember, when Curtis Samuels was there, he wasn't balling like he was when this guy was there, Scott Turner. Yeah. It was until Scott Turner left
exactly.
that they were able to use this guy.
That's my point.
Ways.
See, and I don't like using the word exotic. No, not with Scott Turner. Leave the trick plays alone, please, for Scott Turner. Hopefully he'll get back to the basics. And you have, like you said, Antonio Gibson is explosive. I'm hoping the running game will gain even more steam this season. Again, you averaged over 4 yards a carry, just over 4 yards a carry last season. I feel like you can build upon that this year, and that's going to open things up for the passing game. And what's dope is about this Washington football team, we haven't even discussed the strength of the team, which is the defense. This is a defensive football team. We ain't even talked about it because right now you guys are excited and you guys are highlighting the most important aspects of what they're doing so far this offseason. Good move so far, and from a financial standpoint, great. Haven't traded any picks. Good reason to be excited. Ron, we trust in him right now. So what's going to happen on defense? You're going to hopefully improve at linebacker. We're going to get there, though. I know we're going to talk about the signings at corner. I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on the defense.
Man, the defense is borderline elite, man. We are 2 players away from having a top 3 defense.
I agree.
You need a free safety. You need a guy that can play single high, a guy that's rangy. You know, may I say Richie Grant in a draft? I don't know. Because if you look at the market right now, the best you can do is Trey Boston. Yeah. And I think that limits you. So I think Ron might wait till after the draft if he can't get the safety that he wants in the draft. Okay. Then linebacker. Obviously, you have 2 coaches that were former linebackers. They're looking for their quarterback of that defense. There's a guy by the name of Xavier Collins out there. There's, Jock. There's so many different linebackers. There's so many different ways that you can go. But even right now in free agency, I am praying every day, every night for a guy by the name of Eric Wilson or KJ Wright. I believe, if you can get one of those guys, you can still draft a middle linebacker that you can use all over. I want Ron to go ahead and get these guys that play all 3 spots, because if Holcomb goes down, you can't be dependent on somebody who just plays middle to go play Will. It just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like putting, somebody that can't run and you say, hey, go cover this guy. It just doesn't work just because they have the LB next to their name. So, like I said, man, we are 2 players away from being a elite defense. That front 7, that front 4. I mean, it's just deep at every position. It's deep at every position. Best in football. And just our D tackles, we have 4 of the best. We got Payne, we got Allen, we got Settle, we got Big Mac coming back. I mean, the team is loaded. And I think that front 7 is going to create more opportunities for guys like William Jackson, who only had 3 career interceptions. You're going to really see what these guys can do. You're going to see Kendall Fuller. Now he gets to be the number 2 guy, who he's really a slot corner or a number 2 corner. He's not a number 1. So it just bodes well. It just bodes well. Cam Carl, Landon Collins. Let's see what happens there. Maybe he moves to linebacker. So there's a lot to be excited about.
Though. That's the problem. He don't want to.
It's all about. I know. He don't want to. Hey, but guess what? It's either you come off the bench or you take some snaps here.
That's what I'm getting. I agree.
You want to play the character role? It's either or. Cam Carl is a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has earned that spot, and I don't see nobody taking that spot from him. So, Landon, either you play some linebacker, or you just come in on 3rd downs, or special plays, sub packages. The choice is yours.
And actually, Ray just chatted me some of safety that I think that it's a guy. He's an older individual, but he's a beast safety when he's on the field. Got some issues though. Earl Thomas, man, that's a dude that can probably be cheaper on the market, and he's effective, and he's good. Earl Thomas ain't sorry. He still was playing at a high level for the situation in Baltimore.
What's up, Todd? You listening? he ain't washed up yet.
Hey, but I want to ask you guys a question.
Ask away.
So Earl Thomas, is he more free safety or is he more strong safety?
Oh, he's free. He's free. Earl free. Yeah,
Earl if free. He's free, then he's free. Then we need to go ahead and sign him now and bring him on because you feel me?
Yeah.
That's kind of that's where I'm headed. If he's free, then he got to be free. Then we got to go ahead and cop him right now.
I would take a chance on him.
I would take a chance
right now.
Mm-hmm. The way Ron Rivera is all about bargain players, I take a chance on him. His market is obviously not high because of the issues. But we're talking about a Super Bowl champion, a guy that played for one of the best defensive we've seen in a while, especially the secondary. And we're talking about a defensive front with this Washington football team with a guy like Earl Thomas in the back end, a young Cam Curl. And we're talking about now when we'll talk about William Jackson and also Fuller. And Jimmy Moreland, it's a good fit, man. Sometimes certain things are a good fit. it looks like signing a guy like Earl Thomas would be, man, Ray, I'm about to tweet this, man. Earl Thomas, I'm about to hype this up.
Oh, man,
Earl
they about
Thomas
to go crazy on that
individual that I can see, like, you know what? A vet, some of these guys can learn from. Why not?
And just real quick, remember when Washington brought in Larry Johnson years ago?
Yeah.
It was a kind of a low risk, potentially high reward. We knew that LJ was potentially done, but he came in with a lot of character issues. But you know what? You looked at it as opportunity for him to have another chance. Michael Vick got another chance. Yeah. And I believe Earl Thomas, even though I know domestic violence is how that's viewed in the league, and I respect it, trust me, no doubt. I feel bad that Ray Rice didn't get a second chance because, again, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just a reward for him on the field. I think it's an opportunity to give him a fresh start as a man, as a human being.
Yeah.
You know? But with the Deshaun Watson cloud hanging over the league right now, may not be the best option. But you know what? Who said anything bad or negative about Earl Thomas lately in the news? It hasn't happened. So I feel like maybe you could make this move, but it could be one of those negative aspects that you don't want.
Yeah.
After so many positive moves from Jennifer King to Jason Wright to all that we're discussing here. So it's tough. You can tweet it out. It'll be interesting to see the response. And I just want to make sure I'm making myself clear that I'm not necessarily a proponent of his off the field behavior. No, not at all. I'm just saying, can he get a second chance? Like we all have.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Like I hear you. Like he's a talent. I mean, he is a talent. But I mentioned the cornerback William Jackson. Washington signed cornerback William Jackson to a 3-year, $42 million deal. He replaces cornerback Ronald Darby, who went to Denver. My man, Manny, is it an upgrade, bro?
Man, it's a major upgrade, man. Mm-hmm. If you really understand who William Jackson is, first round pedigree, you know what I'm saying? Played in the league 4 years. They didn't 5th-year option him, which is stupid. Appreciate y'all, Cincinnati Bengals, dummies. You know what I'm saying? So you let this guy fall into our laps, right? The whole time we're panicking. Oh, what are we going to do at corner? What are we going to do at corner? We're thinking like, you go grab somebody cheap, a patchwork. You go and you get a major upgrade. One of the top corners, a shutdown corner, something that we've been looking for years. Mm-hmm. So now you go ahead and you get this guy, right? Mm-hmm. He has, fans. They go out and look at the stats. You see 3 career interceptions. When I saw that, I said, this got to be a shutdown corner. Then you go look at the tape. You look at the tape. He's physical. He's long. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to hit you in the mouth. So he's not like a guy that you can just, run over or move. Then he's a great tackler. You know what I'm saying? So then he never had a front 7 like we have. So now you plug in this guy who's coming in to be the alpha dog of that secondary. Now he gets to shift to the number 1 corner, and then he travels with every receiver. It doesn't matter who he's guarding. He travels. You know what I'm saying? And that was something that Josh Norman wanted to do when he was here, but, that whole mess, they didn't let him travel. He's just that kind of guy. So just imagine Josh Norman in his prime, but better. That's what I see when I see William Jackson III.
Wow. So do you think they'll allow him to travel? Because, Coach, it's funny because in Carolina, Josh couldn't travel as much as he wanted to, but then they allowed him to do towards the end. Do you think they're going to allow him to travel here?
Look, William Jackson is going to say, yo, you brought me here. You're paying me the big bucks to be the guy, right? He's going to tell the coaches, do you want me to be the guy or nah? Mm-hmm. That's going to be the conversation. Do you want me to do what I do to help us do what we're going to do? Or are you just going to hold me back? So that's the conversation he's going to have, and it's going to be up to Ron. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Ron tries it out, and if it works, let him free. Let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of paying top dollars for a top corner, and you say, oh, I need you on the left side guarding the weak guy? Like when we play the Giants, he's not going to be guarding no Sterling Shepard. Who the heck is that? He wants the big guy. He wants Kenny Galladay, the guy that's getting $19 million a year. A mano a mano. That's just how it has to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like it. No, I like it. So you look at him as a great fit for Jack Del Rio's defense? Absolutely.
Hey, I put it like this. He's going to have more interceptions this season than his entire career.
Ooh, I do think, that's 4. And to his point,
that's 4.
no. And to your point, though, to your point, and it goes back to the defensive line. The defensive line is going to I expected to put more pressure because Matt Ioannidis will be back. Exactly. And So that's gonna the way if he's playing press, if he's allowed to play press, because a lot of times we didn't see you guys play press that much last season. But if he's allowed to play press, I think you'll have an opportunity to make plays. He'll have more opportunity to get picks. If not getting picks, definitely the defensive line will get more sacks if they change to allow him to play press, because you're not giving that room in terms of playing back, playing some type of zone.
Bro, this is my plan right here. This is my plan. So if you're gonna bring this guy in, right? Let's say we get one of the top free safeties or the best free safety that fits our scheme within the first 3 rounds. Coaching staff know what they're looking for. I can want what's his name all I want, but the coach might want something else. So if we get a rangy free safety, so now his backside is protected. It's like a shot blocker, right? You get beat, AD and Dwight is back there, like last year for our Lakers, right? So if you got a free safety that's out there rangy that can knock you out, not only intercept passes, one that will knock you out, right? So then you got a defensive line creating pressure. That means you got to get rid of the ball within 2 to 3 seconds. And you got that back end help. Come on, man. It's curtains.
It's curtains. Manny is all for it, man. We brought a Laker analogy. That's what I'm talking about. Last year Lakers. Why can't be this year's Lakers, man?
Mamba mentality, man.
Hey, Manny,
talk about bullish. Talk about bullish. Mo missed this one.
He missed this one. I know, right? Hey, Manny, man, I'm thankful for you being on the show, my man. Let our listeners know how they can find you on social media. And again, tell them about your show so they can, just remind them, let them know.
Absolutely. If you guys want some more of this fire, find me on Twitter at Manny Chakuba. My brother's going to put it in the description. You can't spell Chakuba, that's fine. He's going to put it in the description. And then follow my podcast page. That's Back Row Redskins. And then if you want some fantasy, NBA, all this other stuff, follow me on TS with Manny on the Talking Sports with Manny podcast.
Hey, Manny, man, appreciate you, man. Thank you for, bringing the energy, man. Right, Ray? My man brought the energy, right?
Hey, no doubt. Come back anytime, bro.
Anytime, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. For real.
Hey, I want to make sure you all subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Search all Burgundy and Gold, Errrything with the Urban Sports Scene. Also, tweet us at Urban Sports Scene and hit us up on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Hey, appreciate Manny. Appreciate Ray. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you all. You've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, Errrything with the Urban Sports Scene on Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia for ages. You dig? Deuces. A mega. Lead us out, big homie.
Peace.